Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, and it is Tuesday the 26th of March. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Remember, we're kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. It's by you coming back, using the site and using the adverts. That's what keeps us free of charge. Remember, we're a commercial site, so we're not an amateur site, we're not an enthusiast site. This is the business, as it were. So by you coming back, using the adverts and using the site, that's what keeps us free of charge. Now, it just looks like this cold weather just keeps on. No real changes showing up just at the moment. There are one or two hints from the Canadian model and also at the end of the Ensemble model that we may be starting to see a change, but it's going to be a while off yet. This is the predicted temperatures from the GFS Ensemble, taken forward from today through tomorrow and then out to the 11th of April. And it's the red line we're interested in here. You can see only a very slight increase in temperatures, but staying below 10 degrees right the way throughout the period. So some really cold weather on its way. However, the good news is, if there is any good news to be pulled from this, and I know many farmers out there are having real problems at the moment because of the cold, it does look as if it is going to be staying largely dry through the next week at least. This takes us up to midnight on the 3rd of April, and this is predicted rainfall, and you can see how for most places we're looking at rainfall of less than 5 millimeters generally. A little bit more just running down these eastern coasts from the snow flurries, and also some more for the far south of Ireland and also the far southwest of England. Need to watch this line here. It might come a little bit further north, perhaps something like that, but generally for many of us it is going to be dry, and it looks as if it stays dry into the week after with those continuing easterly winds. So if there is any silver lining, I guess that's just about it. These are the pressure charts for the next few days, and this is the chart from 6 o'clock this morning. You notice high pressure is centered up here towards the north. We've got low pressure down here towards the west, and this green here symbolizing the snow flow is just being blown onto these eastern coasts. Now, as I go forwards through the sequence, you'll notice that not very much changes really. We just stay in that easterly flow right the way through the course of tonight into Wednesday as well. Easterly flow is still there. Some snow flurries on eastern coasts, less of them around, I think, generally as we get through in towards Thursday, but still staying cold with that easterly wind and high pressure still in control. And then heading in towards Friday, well, we start to see a change just towards the southwest, increased winds. We've got some rain trying to push its way northwards into the far southwest of England. I think many of us pretty cloudy, some snow flurries down these eastern coasts and through the Midlands. Some sunny spells though further west. So I think in that sort of wedge, if we took a wedge from through central Ireland, across Wales, across northwest England, western Scotland, there I think the best of the sunshine, but for many it looks like being rather cloudy. And then heading into the weekend, well, conditions tend to stay dry for many, still some snow flows around over eastern coast, particularly rain being forced away down towards the south, as you can see, with the high pressure tending to stay in control, and this easterly flow look just continues through the country. This front here, this is for holiday Monday. This may just bring some showers down these eastern coasts during Monday, and also on Monday we might find more cloud across southern Wales, southern parts of England, as low pressure passes into the channel. That may bring some outbreaks of rain to the far south for Easter Monday, but that then clears away towards the east, and it's really a case of back as you were by the time we're getting into the middle part of next week, with the easterly flow look here returning. And that's the way that the models really see things. They really don't see a great deal of change taking place as we look forwards. This is the ECMWF, and this is the chart valid for midnight last night, as you can see here, midnight on the 26th. And just watch this as we go forward. You'll notice that really not a lot changes. We just stay in that easterly flow. These charts going forward in 24-hour steps. So this is the chart for Saturday. Here's the chart for Easter Sunday, and again you can see a cold easter northeasterly flow here. Then getting into next week, well, we stay pretty cold. Low pressure passing to the south of the country. Still got those easterly winds, and they do tend to turn more into the southeast, so perhaps not quite so cold across the south, but certainly cold across the north. And the ECMWF just leaves it like that. Low pressure centered down towards the south here, high pressure up here towards the north. So it really does see very little change. Now the Canadian is a little bit different. If I just go back to the chart that's valid for midnight on the 5th, you'll notice what the Canadian does here. Look, this is getting into the middle part of next week. Now, whereas the ECMWF had got low pressure, look, towards the south during this period, and the high pressure up here towards the north, just notice that the Canadian model doesn't see that. The Canadian model builds in this ridge, which is actually more consistent with what it's been doing over the last few days. So it builds in the ridge, it pumps this air, this warmer air, northwards in here, look, and generally it starts to hint at some milder air coming in. Now, whether you can believe that or not is another matter at the moment, but the thought is there, and it's probably something that we just need to be keeping an eye on. Looking further ahead, the CFS, I showed you this chart yesterday, but this is the updated version of the CFS, and you need to twist your head for this one. But the week 1 forecast, look, has shown the jet stream still over the southern part of the country for the week going up to the 1st of April. So that's why we've got this threat of rain to the south. But generally, look, there's large blocks still up here towards the north. Now, into week 2, it actually tries to make things more unsettled by bringing the jet stream a little bit further north. So it's trying to bring the jet north. It's trying to make the south slightly more unsettled. Certainly we've got that threat of rain that we saw coming in around the 2nd and the 3rd, 1st and 2nd, just as that low came up the channel. I think that's what the CFS is trying to pick up on here. But then as we get into weeks 3 and into week 4, then what we start to see is the jet trying to still be across the south. Look, this is the week going up to the 15th of April, so it's still trying to come into more southern areas. So still trying to hint at the threat of some rain at times coming onto the southern coast, but further north, hinting at it being dry but still relatively cold. But then, excuse me, into week 4, which takes us through from the 16th to the 22nd of April, what it then does is it tries to build high pressure out here over the continent. So that would mean that our flow would probably become more southerly. So we'd probably get more of a southerly flow developing across the country, which would hint at milder conditions. So it looks like the cold isn't going to go anywhere particularly very fast, but certainly we need to be considering this period. I think we can say the Canadians are a little bit too quick on it, but I think we need to be considering this period between about the 10th and the 15th as showing signs of gradually becoming a little bit warmer, and then perhaps we should find some milder weather in through the middle to the 2nd half of April. I sure hope so. Anyway, I'll leave you with that for now, but thanks for watching weatherweb.net. Remember, we're kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here. It's by Ukraine back and using the site. That's what keeps us free of charge. So for now, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.